In today's episode of the Platform Presents podcast, I have a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Jennifer Crowley, and she's hailing over as a marketing director at eQuo. And eQuo is a very interesting solution. It's there if you're generating change, if you are, out there, if you're building, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're building a company, but also if you're looking into it from the other side, the investment side of things. eQuo might be a very interesting solution for you guys who want to deep dive into how it impacts their businesses, but also how Jennifer's thinking about growth for the company. So Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Lucas. I appreciate a great introduction to my Friday and weekend. Thank you for having me.
Of course, appreciate it. Now, for people who haven't heard about eQuo yet, maybe give us a quick overview, a quick rundown, like what is it all about in your own words?
Sure, absolutely. Small business, particularly in Canada, provides almost 80% of the jobs across our country. And while all entrepreneurs struggle in their journey to build a successful business, there's several underrepresented groups that we're rooting for in particular, because their journey is much more challenging with all the added systematic barriers that are put in front of them. So in that, we're really focused on founders that are persons with disabilities, the LGBTQ plus entrepreneurs, BIPOC and immigrant business owners, as well as the fastest rising group of small business owners, those that are over 60 years old. And while our core focus is around leveling the playing field for all founders, we also recognize the challenges that investors, funders, and capital providers face. In the time and effort it really takes them to research and secure businesses that align with their particular criteria. So eQuo is the first matchmaking platform that connects entrepreneurs with the funding and capital that they need to grow. And as we grow, we will expand to launch a marketplace that will then connect entrepreneurs with all of the professional services, talent, and even the customers that they will need to succeed.
What types of businesses do we see on the platform? Does that range from services businesses? Like maybe give us an idea. Like obviously it's probably a broad spectrum, but maybe to give us a couple of pointers. Like what types of businesses will we sort of encounter on the platform?
Yeah, so we are focused on more of the scale up. So typically we see more not necessarily your startup business, but those that are looking to grow and scale. We definitely cross all sectors and industries. There's no one particular group that we're looking at there. But these are individuals that are probably, they are considered small. So typically, and I'm using air quotes when I say small, in that there are less than 100 employees. They have less than $1 million in annual recurring revenue. And they are looking for support and answers. As an entrepreneur, you don't know what you don't know. And you often don't even know where to go because you don't know what questions to ask. And that's what this community that we're building is going to help to support, to advance their economic prosperity.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, you already gave us a great overview, sort of about the types of businesses, the different backgrounds the businesses are originating from. What about the investors side of things? What types of investors do we see? What people, basically join the community from that other end?
Yeah, so we are looking at more on the alternative fintech side. So we're looking at everything from capital solution providers, crowdfunding, payment processing products, angel investors, retail investors. Those you typically don't see within the traditional landscape. So like your banks and your stock market investors and big networks. So your angels, smaller, more intimate groups that can connect with the emotion that comes with being an entrepreneur. We want our investors to understand the entrepreneurial journey and empathize with it, because we understand how much of a struggle it is. And I, as a previous entrepreneur, would rather work with somebody that understood and had like-minded goals as to what I have.
Very, very good. That makes a lot of sense. Now, how do these business owners learn about eQuo? Like, what's the journey that they're going through, and maybe tell us a little bit, sort of the ways they can explore the platform.
Sure. So I am proud to say that we've just launched our alpha this week. So we're in the midst of onboarding our first 100 eQuo friendlies into the alpha version of our platform before we launch the beta in the fall. So in that, I can talk to who we've brought into our community thus far, and then I'll talk to kind of where we're going from here. So I guess our mentality has been a bit old school in the fact that we've grown our following over the last 4 years, one person at a time, through a combination of outreach to our personal and our professional networks, organic social media. We've done a series of online educational webinars, and an increasingly stronger PR strategy. We've spent that 4 years meeting and deepening relationships with really each and every one of the individuals that we've met, because we recognize that how much trust is a factor in deciding not only to do business with somebody, but in retaining them as a client. We see this as it's kind of short-term pain for long-term gain. And while this approach has taken more time, it was more personal, and those relationships, learning and growth we've had as a result of the relationships has helped us personally, and not personally from a business perspective, evolve and deepen our mission. For an example, we've really embedded ourselves into the Indigenous community in Canada, in light particularly with what's going on with the residential schools and the conversations there. And really taking the time to step back and better understand their struggles and their journeys as individuals, because that really does relate to how and why they are starting their own businesses, and the individual and unique support that they require. So conversations and really understanding who these individuals are, particularly with myself being a white female, I've run my own business and had a heck of a lot of struggles, but what I now know about these underrepresented groups, I can't even imagine how hard it's been for them. So that deep understanding of individuals and the relationships that we've created really has helped us grow as well. So now that our platform is built, our goal obviously is to increase the size of our community to attract more entrepreneurs. And again, that's a challenge that all small businesses have as they kind of grow. So we actually just launched a Go Small Canada campaign. And it's co-led by a woman named Brenda Halloran, who's the former mayor of Waterloo here in Ontario, along with Rye and Shira Barberstock. And they're Indigenous advocates and founders of a company called the eQuo Network, which is a social network for Indigenous entrepreneurs on Turtle Island here in Ontario. Anyways, the hashtag Go Small Canada Challenge, it invites everyday Canadians to simply stop and shop at one of their favorite small businesses. And when they visit these businesses, they can take pictures or videos, share a brief explanation of why that business is so awesome, and then use the hashtag Go Small Canada and the hashtag of whatever city they're in, and then challenge their networks to do the same as they posted on social media. We at eQuo then take those posts and repost them on our national networks, which then gives these small businesses national exposure and more opportunity for customers in their storefront or at their e-commerce business, and really to help them where it matters the most, which is at the cash register. So we're really excited about the initiative. And as I said, one of the former mayors of here in Canada is co-leading the challenge, and she's also now challenging mayors across the country. And for us, we're actually coming up to a mayoral race, which will take place in October, which is a great platform for these mayors to stand upon to support local businesses in their community.
I mean, very fantastic initiative. And obviously for everybody who is listening in, who sort of, locality wise falls under that, obviously, follow along and jump into hashtag Go Small Canada. Very good. Cool. That gives us a good overview of what you guys are doing. I would be curious, what role do you contribute to the website, like for eQuo or eQuoshift.com for everybody who's, listening in? How do you think about the website? What role does it play in your own words?
So the website for us is kind of that last step before they sign up to play with eQuo, as it were. It does encapsulate all of the information about who we are. It talks specifically to investors. It talks specifically to entrepreneurs, depending on what tab you're looking at. It talks specifically to partners. It obviously highlights our Go Small Canada campaign. And then it also provides a list of and access to the historical webinars, educational webinars that we've done, but invitations to future webinars that we're working on.
Very good. Now, since we spoke about what you guys are doing, who you're serving, and also a little bit about sort of the campaign Go Small Canada, I would love to learn a little bit more about yourself, right? Because obviously you wear a lot of hats. You have to look at the business from many different angles. I would be curious, where do you personally like to educate yourself? Like, where do you go for high quality information? Where do you like to read? Do you still have time to read? Maybe tell us a bit about that.
Question. A great question, and I appreciate the question, really. For me, as I kind of alluded to earlier, I spend my time really kind of exploring different cultures and different underrepresented groups. That for me is very exciting for as an individual to grow myself, both my heart and my mind, and become a better person. I've got 3 children, and obviously want to leave them in a better place when I kick out from this world than they're living in right now. And I feel that the best way to do that is through education. So while I will read lots of blog posts and stuff on the internet, I find that those one-to-one conversations are the deepest and the most meaningful, and the ones that affect change most with me individually.
Okay, very, very good. Okay, I have some rapid fire questions to wrap it up for today, to get to know you and your journey a little bit better. They're harmless though, I should say. Okay. What I am curious about is, what is the last book that you read or the last podcast you listened to?
To be honest with you, the last book that I read was the Jay-Z biography.
Oh, wow.
The entertainer. Yeah.
Nice.
It was a really, really, really long read, but wow, is he a smart guy? Whether it's him and or his team, he's built an empire in a very, very unique way.
Actually, that makes me excited to actually read the book as well. So thanks for this one. What is one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
Well, obviously it's entrepreneurs. Right now, it's all about it's all about onboarding folks into our platform. So that's, I guess, our major focus right now, this second.
And for the very last question, right, I would be curious, if today would be your first day working on eQuo, right? You're stepping out, it's the spark of the idea. Nothing is there yet. You're just getting started. What's the one advice you would give yourself for that journey?
I guess similar to what I had said earlier is, you don't know what you don't know until you actually do the work. Really, I came in with a very strong audience marketing background. So I was very comfortable coming in and talking to groups that I didn't know, because it's something that historically I've done for the likes of Microsoft and AOL and lots of other small businesses. But I really had to throw that out the window and spend the time to learn about the ups and downs of my customers, in particular, those people that aren't like me. So I would say ask questions, showcase your naivety and your willingness to learn and understand. And that's going to fast track you for sure.
Very good. Yeah, so Jennifer, really appreciate you joining the Pathmark Presents show today. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about eQuo, what's the one thing that they should remember?
I would say that small, in air quotes, can be really, really big when small has the support it needs. And eQuo in our community of equopreneurs are leading the way to do just that. So join us at equoshift.com.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathmark Presents.
Thank you, Lucas. Have a great day.